for grad school. Um, I feel like that's the thing I avoid the most. I really need to do that. More important than my business. Uh, I feel kind of like a shitter if I don't see this whole business thing through. Also, like the business thing, like I'm just at like a point where I can't really progress until I get this website developed, which is kind of annoying. And
What is the grad school, if you don't mind me asking? Like for what?
for my dietitian license,
Dietitian license.
um,
Is that something that you actually have interest in doing?
yeah, 100%. It's the really the only thing I want to do. Um, like I don't like the idea, like I don't like the idea of like doing something meaningless for money. And it's not really that like I consider necessarily the work of a dietitian meaningful. It's just that it's something that I'm interested in, and like the
That's
things
meaning
that
in and of itself.
yeah, like the things that I learned doing that to me like bring me meaning.
Mhm.
Uh, so just kind of like it's just a way to like kind of like narrow down my the places I put my mind. If I could
Mhm.
like make my personal interest my work, then yeah, that's something that interests me more than doing the work. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Uh, so yeah, yeah, I'm interested in it. But like, I'm not interested in it in as far as I'm not interested in working. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
which is it was a very substantial amount. Um, like if I wanted, I could just like derail everything and become a real estate agent
Mhm.
and make money doing that.
Why don't you?
Because I want to see this business thing through, and um, yeah, I want to see this business thing through.
Is there a reason you can't do both? Because from my understanding, your business thing isn't something that requires.
Just time and mental effort. Like, not really, not really. You're right. I should just go ahead and do it. I think like the best solution for me really would be to instead of like continuing on with like the routine I've set for myself and trying to work in these things for routine is to restructure my routine entirely and work in the things that focus on myself around that. And I can do that. I just like want to get ripped already, lol. And like I just like there's so many things I want to heal for myself. So it's just like those things get in the way. It's all stacked up into like a big mental complex.
Mm.
It's really easy for the complexes to like form and like solidify when you're in like a like an environment where like the cycles are constantly repeating. You
Mhm.
know. Um, so no, I definitely need to. I definitely need to like the I need to reorder my routine. And I think that's a good idea. That's a very good idea. It's just like also that thing like that shit like does not bring me happiness. It's just like when I'm doing that shit, I'm just like filled with so much fucking dread and
Why?
like hopelessness, like work. um, so
Do you
yeah,
think
I
you
like
have fun
these
being
are
a real
things
estate agent?
I just like need to get over it. I really do.
Do
Um,
you have fun being? Would you think you'd have fun being a real estate agent?
no,
Well, could I ask a question? What would be the worst thing that would possibly happen if your business crashes and burns into the ground and it all fails and it's just like a complete disaster? What would be the worst thing that happens?
the worst thing,
Yeah, like what's there to be afraid of?
the worst thing that would happen is that um, I become ashamed of myself. That's the worst thing that could happen.
No, that's not that bad.
No, it's not.
And why would you be ashamed of yourself?
Um, well, I guess
It's
if I
not
see
fail.
it through, I guess if I see it through when, um, I guess because I would feel like, Give me a second. Why would I be ashamed of myself? Um, you know what it is? It's because like a big reason that like I want to be a self working person is to break the mold of expectations that were set forth for me by my family,
Hmm.
and it would make me feel like a failure in my family's eyes. Like like I constantly like I'm on this path to like prove my family wrong and like show them a different way and stuff. And then it's like another thing where it's like, well, James's way sucks. Don't do it that way because you end up starting a business and failing, and then you're gonna have to go do the thing that you should have done all along anyway, you idiot. So yeah, that's I guess the feeling.
But isn't that an unhealthy uh, base on which to base your motivations?
Absolutely. I listen. I'm not like trying to like argue my point. I'm being honest, right? Like
I know.
yeah, yeah, it is. No, it is. But believe me, I know these things. I
I
understand
know
these
you
things. Like,
do.
yeah, like
I'm
I'm
asking.
explaining this like in pure self awareness. So you can't really like talk me out of it. I guess motivation is probably like um, like rationalizing it away doesn't really work. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Um, not like you rationalizing it away. I mean, part of that, but like mostly like me, I can't
I know
rationalize
you
it.
mean. Well, I just wanted to say, and already it goes for you too. What is the worst absolute thing that happens if you totally fuck up and then you have to go back to your parents? What what's the big deal? It's just like it's there's this all this heavy energy of like that's what the fear of change is. It's like this
Yeah,
heavy everything's so serious and like bro, I was homeless, dude. And I mean
For
I
me,
have a mom, but we could be homeless and be totally chill. Like what the fuck what is all this like bug out stuff about? I you
I'll
know,
tell you.
I'll
You
say
know, Michael,
wait,
I'll answer your.
hold on now.
Sorry.
Don't answer so quickly. Um what's all this bug out shit about? And I'll say it's bug out shit because I know this is creating disempowered versions of you guys. So I could say it's bug out shit because it's not the real version. Because the real version is like understands that everything is given as a present for a really good reason, and it always helps to show you more of you, expose more of you, right? And you become more whole in yourself. So who's to say the thing that you want is the thing that is best for you? Because guess what? I would have wanted to buy Bitcoin at 50 cents 10 years ago when I literally saw it on the screen for 50 cents and Anthony was talking about buying it. I would have wanted to, and then I would have wanted to eat cheeseburgers and smoke weed for the rest of my life. Well,
Hmm.
who's to say that's the right decision? And who's to say you staying there already is the right decision? And who's to say, James, that you making the business is the right decision? Right? Or not the
who's to
right
say?
decision, I just mean the thing that is most healing, that leads to the outcome that is like actually would put you into the greatest version of your consciousness, which ultimately is the only thing that matters and the only thing that leaves a person fulfilled, right? So to this I say, uh, you could have ideas, right? Gurren Lagann, break through, spiral of power, break through it all. Yeah, but then that also has to be balanced through understanding that uh, the the I don't even like the word the universe, but it's like it's like you have a path for you to lead yourself into the greatest version of yourself, and that's just accepting that like it shouldn't be a struggle. Like once it stops being a struggle, because that's what the fear change is. It's like it has to be this way, but like then that's just blindness because it's like why does it have to be that way? Isn't like most of the ways that we change, usually in unexpected and like usually unpleasant scenarios, and then when we look back and they're like, oh yeah, I'm really glad that happened. Like, so in that case, it's like, I'm not saying anything new. I also recognize that this is just an
Mhm.
energy that has to be uh 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 reminded of, because it's like otherwise in the day to day it's like it has to be this way. Like, no, it doesn't. It'll be the way it's supposed to be, and that's the best way. And it's our uh job, so to speak, to hold that perspective. And the more you hold it, actually, the less resistance you have, the more things just work out for you, and the less internal resistance you have, the more willing you are to change things in yourself and just give up these like heavy energies that don't do anything. It's just like, yeah, do the thing. I'm not saying be a vegetable and do nothing, but it's like, you know, do the thing, but then afterwards, like, just know that it's, oh, if it's not what it's meant to be, then it's not what it's meant to be, and it's even better. Wow, it's something else. Like, you know, so yeah, no need to feel so like choked by the things that you like are aiming for. You know what I mean? Because otherwise, it does feel choky. It feels like I have to do this, and
Hmm.
then you don't want to do it, and it's like, you know, I'd be feeling choked about the programming if I came at it with that perspective. You know what I mean? I like just all these things. They can be really pleasant to do, and just like you're building some shit and it's cool, and you're like learning about stuff and it's like chill. Or it can be
Yeah.
like, I fucking hate this. I don't want to do this. Why am I in this world? And the fucking energy extraction matrix, and but that's like when it's all serious and like, you know, just it's also serious. But really, what's the like, what will actually happen? Nothing. Like
Michael,
nothing. It's all in our heads. Yeah, that's another way to say it.
No, you're right.
I
And during this, actually, it's kind of a shame because during this conversation, like, I'm feeling the drive to like do something else, right? And so in my brain, I'm like, all right, fuck it. Like, what would be the best path for me forward? I still want to be a dietitian. I still want to make money. So the best thing I can do right now is to do the thing that's gonna make me money immediately. And then I was like, all right, well, let me go check out my real estate course. And I'm realizing I don't even remember the name of it, and I don't have it saved anywhere, and I already paid for it, and I don't know how to find it.
Hmm.
Um,
Wouldn't you have some
so
confirmation email?
what's that?
Wouldn't you have some confirmation email?
Yeah, maybe actually, that's a good idea.
Hey, Michael, are you done, James? Can I say something?
Go for
I'm
it.
down as fuck.
Hey,
Mm-hmm.
Michael,
Mm-hmm.
as soon as you started saying all that stuff, then I did hear all of it,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't disagree with it. But let me fucking answer your question very directly, Buster,
Mm-hmm.
within the context of my own life, of course, because I can't speak for James.
Mm-hmm.
What's the worst that can happen if I move back in with my parents? Nothing crazy,
Mm-hmm.
because I know that this is all ultimately a guided experience and that I will figure a way out and that my parents love me, and all that good stuff. And then they will support me and help me get back on my feet. Um, all that I'm very well aware of. It is by no means the end of the world if I move back in with my parents. And if that happens, then I will adapt and overcome. So really, it's for me. It's. I don't think. Oh my god! If I move back in with my parents, then this and that and the third will happen. It's if I move back in with my parents, then the worst has already happened. Let me elaborate on that. Like, really, the worst has happened. Um, and it has nothing to do. Well, I mean, technically it does, but like internally, it has nothing to do with like, oh, I'm broke and I have to depend on them and stuff like that. It's or even embarrassment. It's not about that either. Um, that whole thing, that journey I was describing to James about moving here and how and where it started and how it led to where I am now is exactly the journey that has got me to where I am right now, which is the best I felt in my life ever since I was a child. The best I feel like I've ever been, and the most on the path to becoming the divine God that I know I am, that I've ever been. Because me me deciding to like stop going to school and moving over here and stuff like that, it wasn't just a matter of like, oh, now I can live by myself and like I don't have to take shit from my parents and I'm further away from them and don't have to listen to them. Even though of course I did think about that stuff and that, affected my decision. What it really was when I decided to make that choice and face my fears, I I put a restriction on my nen and made a covenant with myself. Like that scene where Kurapika makes the chains,
I know.
and and he explains how the reason they're so powerful is because he could only use them on the Phantom Troop, and if he uses them for anything else, then he will die.
Yeah. I do.
Ugh. I Whatever it was that I feared, I still fear, or like, how should I say? Just like this path that I've been on has been a path where I it started out with me taking like the most extreme version, or this path started with me taking the step of like facing my fears and and beginning to cultivate my independence in its most extreme form. I literally just moved out without even no having any guarantee whatsoever, or even like necessarily strong confidence that I'll be making money. I just fucking did it. I did it. It's almost, I would say, the equivalent of like if like a mystical being descended from the heavens and like lit a fire in front of you and it was like, yo, stand in this fire and you will like gain superpowers and stuff and ascend. And then you're standing there thinking, it's like, nigga, what if I just get set on fire? That's what it was for me. And I did it, bro. And since I made that step, I never looked back. Not because I thought that my parents that I would face like serious humiliation or like, haha, I told you so, like you should have just went to school, sucker, or that like any of that stuff. I knew that of course ultimately like I would figure out a way, like things would just get figured out. um but I just knew that that's what was needed for me to be in a position where I can really focus on nothing but myself and be as far removed as possible from parasitism and the attempted insertion of like ideas that aren't mine into my mind and my soul.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been a very bumpy ride. And you know, it's very interesting. In a way, it became like it felt like part of it was just fear that was stuck inside me. And now, well, actually, I really, this is maybe not the best analogy, but Jordan Peterson once said, um, you know, when fear stands in front of you, it's like a wall that it's like, oh, if you go through this wall, then like it's really spooky and it might hurt, and it like you want to cower away from it, and it discourages you from doing things that you might even be aware of are good for you.
Uh-huh.
But if if your if your fear, if you can take that fear and put it behind yourself,
Yeah.
um, it will push you forward. Um, it will push you forward into like whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
but you will push forward and you will progress. Or even if you don't progress, there will be change. There will be, as we like to say, alchemy.
Right on.
Um, and and it's like it really does feel like I like had a lot of fear, and I've been able to leave some of it behind me. Like, and it's not like I don't look back, or like when I say I don't look back, it's not because like I'm not like again just to re-emphasize, I'm not afraid of like if I have to move back in with my family, then like I somehow then like everything will fall apart. No,
Yeah.
it's that I just it's there's not even a way of rationalizing it. It's just like very like allegorical and like an internal like a thing that I know to be true internally that like the path that I'm on, it's really like this was like that's like moving out and stuff and like taking all these risks is like really this is the path that I fully decided to do by myself.
Yeah.
And everything that's been happening, I've just been like doing it by myself. And that combined with like the fact that right now I just like really feel like I'm really going into the direction that I know that this is what I'm supposed to be doing with my soul and with my time here on this planet or Earth, plane, dimension, whatever. And it's like, man,
Planet. The fuck? Oh no, sorry. I did the. Go
what?
on. I'm memeing. I'm memeing.
It's like I wouldn't give that up for the fucking world, bro.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I hear you. I hear you. Yeah, no, I feel that. It's like symbolic of your journey and stuff. I'm just saying,
Yeah,
it was symbolic. It's kind of similar to me. Not really, but kind of. Is um when I went homeless and I thought I was for sure. That was literally like the moment I'm like, holy fuck, I could literally just like do anything. And did that for like a month. But then I went back because I was like, nah, this ain't it, chief. Um, so I mean, Yeah, I feel you. I'm not saying you should go back or nothing. I get it, and it's cool, and I'm
Yeah.
happy you feel that way, and it's lit, and that's your allegory, and you know it best, right? So,
Yeah,
but hey,
man.
just saying, stuff happens, and how to say, I could see it be an allegory, like these allegories are all internal, of course, but I could see it being like, hey, well now if you say everything went to shit, right, and you had to go
Mhm.
back, and now it's like, well, now you're back here, but are you a different person now, right? And put yourself in the same environment as you were when you were a weaker person, right? And then that might expose more things about you, right?
Right.
So, it could work like that. And I don't know how it will work, but it'll work how it's supposed to. So, you know.
Right.
But yeah, I feel what you're saying, and I dig it. I super dig it.
Right.
I do.
Yeah. Um, Final closing, like paraphrasing.
Yeah.
Me moving back in with my parents is not the beginning of everything going to shit. Um,
I just mean like if nothing worked out there.
right. But I'm saying, let's let me finish. Me
Yeah.
going back to my parents isn't the beginning of everything going to shit. Me going back to my parents is everything has now gone to shit. But I recognize that even if everything goes to shit, it's okay. It's okay. Things will change. I will learn from it. The universe guides me. It's all totally cool. Um, but again, I have made that decision for now. For now, the notion of that being like that's just my resolve, man. That's like literally my hunter's nen resolve, bro, is like I'm just fucking out here doing my thing, man. And bro, man, if I fucking moved back in with my family, like, yeah, I can fucking first of all, it would like be my living situation would be more comfortable than this little fucking room I'm in. Um, I'd be closer to my family. Um, I'd save money. They would definitely help me get some kind of job or something, and that would be cool. But like, I've gotten to the point that I have this way, and I will keep going this way until until, the universe tells me otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
And also, it's funny. Part of my aversion to moving back in with my family over time has become like my me being afraid to like tell them, give them the whole immortal god that should be
Mm-hmm.
vegan spiel.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Mm-hmm.
but within the last week or 2 weeks, I've like I've just like internally become like less afraid of it. I actually told my mom for the first time ever that I tried being vegan. That's something. That's something. Um, and just like the playing out of that potential conversation in my head is like less dreadful, less dreadful.
Just to interject, I think it's way more scary if your parents live your life not knowing who you are than if they were to think you're a crazy retard. It's just like, oh, it's like the thing also we were saying. Well, I was saying, it's like right, because parents are like the strongest. How to say, parents are you. They literally are you because you were them for
Mhm.
all of your formative years, and then you little bean grew up into a little beanstalk, but he's, you know, it's it's like they are you. They represent the deepest part of you that is like old energy, right? They represent an old energetic configuration. That's why it's like you can get as woke as you want, but then it's like you can still like be kind of like a retard with your parents, sort of like you're still like their little bean, right? Um, and so like part of it all, I think, is that that it's always an implicit. If you don't like erect a meat obelisk, no. If you don't erect truth like externally through your words with them and really tell them what the fuck is up and like what's going on here, not in any serious way, just like, hey, we're not doing the same thing. It'll still be this implicit energetic configuration between them, which is being passively agreed to and has been agreed to, right? Um, so it's like I just feel like there's a lot of symbolism in telling specifically your parents and largely everybody you meet. I mean, it's not like you'd be like, "Hey, I'm vegan and spiritual" to like everybody, but it's like if somebody asks, it's like not just be like, "Yeah, uh-huh." It's like there's this whole thing where we like think how to say, but whatever. This is like most so about parents is like, you know, oh, but then they'll be like scared for you and blah blah blah. Well, is that your fucking problem that they're gonna be scared for you and think like that your teeth are gonna fall out because you're fucking vegan? Is that your problem? No, it's not.
Mhm.
But we don't want them to worry. Well, fuck them. Let them worry. Literally, fuck them. Let them worry. Because then it's also like your responsibility. It's like when you got truth is like inside of you. You got this beautiful thing inside of you, and you're just gonna push it down. Because I'm not talking about you specifically, but this is generally like just the thing that is happening is like you got this beautiful thing inside. It's unmatched in beauty in heaven and earth forever till the end of time, and then you're gonna push it down just because some fucking monkey retard called your parents is gonna be scared of it. You feel me? I'm not trying to be mean, but it
I
is
hear
like
you.
it that is just objectively what it is. If you remove them from them being your parents and you love them and we all love our parents, right? This is monkey retard consciousness pushing down beauty of like the only thing that can be beautiful, right?
Mhm.
And we allow that. We say, well, we don't want them to worry, so I'm just gonna keep pretending to be somebody I'm not. I'm gonna not erect a pillar of truth. This is all just gonna be my little secret, right? Which I'm not saying you gotta go on rooftops and say it to the world because that's not really healthy either. But in terms of like, hey, you have this perception of me, and that's actually it's like this, and actually I think all of this stuff, and actually some of this doesn't really matter to me, and I don't really take your worldview the same way, and you're probably gonna worry, and that's your problem. Like lovingly, of course. Um,
Right.
I just feel like that aspect is overlooked because we don't want to make them worry. But guess what? That's
Right.
not your goddamn problem. And when you
I
don't,
guess.
it is an implicit consent to push yourself down. Because why wouldn't you
Mhm.
say these things? Because you don't want them to worry. Well, then what's that all about? Then, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. I
Not
guess
like
part of it is also it's
go
hard to like it's literally like kind of difficult to put into words the whole thing in one package.
ahead. Mm-hmm.
Or I mean, um, how should I say? Well, like, mm, I kind of just like had like as you were talking, I kind of had like a thought here and there that like made me realize like what it really is that is scary. We're not scary, but also like difficult about it. Kind of trying really hard to put it together here. Um, Well, part of it is definitely proving it to myself.
Proving what?
Part of it is the whole immortal God thing.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah,
Part
right.
of it is definitely proving it to myself. A lot of it, I would say, because even though like this like and this journey that I've been on these last few years has been a few years, it's only very recently. And it's like and even though I was aware of the whole spiritual thing the whole time, it's only until very recently in the last few months that I've like really been digging into the sauce and making some like hefty transformations,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And it's like without getting to a certain level within yourself and like consistently and then like having that kind of like internalized and accepted and truly believing it, until that point it's kind of just like I'm still this like messy ball of bad habits and anxiety and not making a lot of money. And it's like it like yeah, I'm aware of the spiritual thing, but it's like if I try explaining it, it's like they have absolutely no reason to believe me. And
Yeah, I know. I get you.
all like and then like internally it's almost like, well, here, I'll actually give you a really good one. I'll give you a really good one. It's like recently my worrying about money has like really went down
Mm-hmm.
a lot. Even though I'm not making as much as I was like maybe 6 months ago
Yep.
and stuff. It's like my worrying about money has like gone down so much.
Yeah.
Um, and then it's like I wouldn't have the internal capacity, and I also I wouldn't have the internal capacity to say to my mom, for example, and would also be lying to her if I said that that like if I gave her the whole immortal God spiel and then she like expressed her concerns about like me fucking going psychotic and like or just like fucking abandoning everything that I have in my life and just doing like whatever the fuck she thinks that I would do. Um, but now I could totally, with utter confidence, be like, hey, I know it sounds crazy, but I could tell you that like I've been thinking like this for a very long time, and I am right now doing better than I ever was, and that is the primary reason why. Right. And then it's like without that, without at least something resembling that, what the fuck is even the point of having the conversation?
Oh, I mean, it's not for them. It would be for you. It's not about them at all. They're not gonna accept
Okay. Well then for me,
it. Spoiler
okay,
alert.
I, I
Probably,
neglected to mention that even for well, I know.
probably
Actually
wouldn't be
no.
shit for them.
That's I'm aware that the conversation goes both ways and that I wouldn't be saying it for them, I'd be saying it for me. But
Yeah,
then it's like even for me, if I
I
hadn't
get you.
proven that to myself and
Yeah,
all
I
that
get you. I
stuff,
get you. Right.
then it's like if I had that conversation and then they expressed their concerns, it would push me further down into, oh, maybe they're right.
I hear you. Well, then, however you think is healthy for you. I'm just talking in ideals, I guess. But
Yeah, of course it's ideal to like, for them to know already, but things will unfold however.
yeah, they don't have to know. They don't.
Yeah, they don't have to know. Like I do want them to. This is like, by the way, this is not something like I've never at any point thought like, oh, I will just cruise through life without ever telling them.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
I
of
also
course.
don't want to like, I also don't want to just like randomly pop this out Like I would want it to like matter in the within the context of the conversation.
I don't think there always going to be a conversation where that context to come up. Why if they start talking about spiritual stuff all of a sudden? Or I mean, I
Well,
guess there could be. I guess there could be.
my mom is pretty spiritual. I mean, like in an NPC way, if you will. Like
Well, why don't you
God,
just
like
tell
she,
her?
huh?
Why don't you just tell her? If she already like is spiritual to some capacity, then none of this is like new or even like.
No, it is because she's spiritual in the sense that like she believes in God and the law of attraction and the flow of energy and stuff like that.
Yeah,
It's
so
almost like
it's all the same shit.
white girl spiritual, but like it's like like conservative or like just like Soviet village woman spiritual.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's fine. That's chill. That's like enough. That's way enough. I thought they were both like hard atheists. Because then if you're dealing with like hard atheists, then it's like, oh, you're just crazy. Put him in a psych ward. If you're already
No,
like
yeah,
spiritual, it's like what's there to not talk about freely?
yeah.
It's all basically the same
You
thing.
know what's the main? You know what's the main thing? Also, like I like literally forget about this sometimes, but like a big one also is like if I came to, okay, it's like if I am okay, if I like give the whole spiel and then like my mom, for example, is like, okay, but like, and she's like following and she's like hearing me out or whatever, but then she asks like, what got you to this point where you feel um that like what makes you so confident in this idea that like that you already are an immortal god and that this world is like a freaking just like projection of your inner soul and stuff like that. Fucking mushrooms, baby.
Baby, nice.
Although I guess right, omission is not lying, and I could explain it within the context of all my other experiences which confirm the truth.
Yeah, just be like a consistent spiritual experiences through drugs, baby. Yeah, I feel you. Well,
You
I
know,
mean,
actually, as a matter of fact, now that I think about it, if I can if I can have the conversation and effectively relay the message while avoiding telling my mom that I like took mad psychedelics, that would actually be so poggers.
I don't see why you couldn't. I feel like she would literally be like, "Yeah, I know all this shit already." If you were to say this, like,
But she doesn't.
of course she fucking doesn't. Doesn't matter if she does.
No, because then if she says I know all this shit already, then did I really relay the message?
My mom knows all this shit already. It's not even like fuck them if they get the message or not. It's for you. That's the whole point. It's like they're you can't give them energy that they can't like that they didn't like make themselves. So it's just gonna
Hmm.
be like yeah, words, God and spiritual and universe has a path for everybody. It's all the same thing. You know what I mean? It's just like a matter of like, do I pretend I'm a normie or not? And I'll say it in my way, and they won't get my way because they don't actually get the energy that's saying it, right? But they'll get the words, and the words are the words, and do with them what you will, interpret them how you will in your Java compiler. If the compiler can't interpret it, then use an interpreter. And if you can't use that, well then fucking learn another programming language, motherfucker. Like, doesn't matter if you get it or not. It's just a matter of am I pushing down something inside of me? Is like, can I really be fully honest with
Right.
anybody about what I'm doing? And if I can't, then that's a disservice to the goddamn universe. Because what's the universe? It's beauty, right? So if you're pushing down beauty inside yourself, then you're doing a disservice not only to yourself, but to all of creation. Isn't that crazy? Because then you're just letting illusion like be like, yeah, I'm illusion, bro. You better be afraid of me. You better not like say the woke thing, because like bad stuff's gonna happen. And then who are we? Are we even gods then? You feel me? Just a little thing to think about, but very much relates to parents because they are the biggest perpetrators of stagnancy and old energetic configurations unknowingly. But it doesn't matter if it's knowingly or not. That's the biggest uh, struggle in all of it, is that they don't know what they do because they are blind, right? They don't know. They don't know what the fuck any of their subconscious energies are, but those subconscious energies are fear based. So in that case, can't go along with it implicitly, and you can go along with it explicitly and go to college and do what they say, or you can go along with it implicitly and in that way of just like never addressing it or never making it even be known that there is like just knowing who you are, just for you.
Right.
And yeah, but it's not number one on the list of priorities or nothing. I'm not saying go fucking call him up right now like, Mom, I'm fucking woke. Stupid.
Take these mushrooms, Mom.
Take these mushrooms. If you want to be woke, and if you don't get it, then fuck you. Click. Right? Not like that. But it'd be what it'd do, right? That's the thing. It's a dang thing, right? Especially for dads. Moms is easy mode. Dads, because dad's got a little bit of lip on him. They got a little bit of lip on him, like his little bean sprout. He's trying to tell me some shit. He'd be like, "Fuck you, dad. You stupid, you fucker." And he'd be like, "What'd you say?"
With my dad, it's actually really funny because like he's definitely one of those guys that, like, for example, if you talk about like religion, he'll just like, oh yeah, like guy walked on water, like what a bunch of fucking stupid shit, you know. Um, although
Dads
he
are
did wear a
level one,
cross for a
dude.
lot.
Dads are
Huh?
dads are level one. Dads are absolutely just like my dad. I love him, and I actually like respect his energy a lot. But uh, holy fuck, what a fucking god! Like literally bottom of the barrel retard. Like absolute trash level consciousness. Like he's literally just like, yup, it's just chemicals, and like when you die, you just die, and like I'm like, oh my god, literally, like how are you
Yeah,
even
my
real?
dad actually isn't necessarily like that. I mean, it's like, okay, he like puts a high market value on logic and proof and stuff like that, but he's also like, I don't know, bro, like he's just honestly so fucking chill.
Yeah, mine too. Yep.
He's like, bro, like for example, like for me, he's always told me, he's like, son, I don't fucking care what you do. I don't care if you're fucking.
Mine too, dude.
You don't give a fuck what I do as long as I'm just like alive
Yeah,
and
basically,
like and happy,
basically, yeah.
alive and happy. Um, she'd be like, Dad, the thing that makes me feel the most alive and the happiest is this. And if you're worried that this is like some like schizo shit that like will, it's actually funny. Like no matter who you speak to, one of the main like theoretical things what's the word, arguments, or like what they would be worried about is like, oh my god, what if he's gonna throw his job away and stuff like that and just be like a fucking idiot on the beach. It's like
they all assume
it's
this.
it's like,
They
god damn
assume
it, going down this path is what got me the job. It's
that.
what got me to pay attention to my health.
Right.
It's what fucking it's what made me more willing to have a better relationship with you.
Right.
And it's like, like if that's really all you want from me and I'm telling you that that's how I got it, then like the fuck?
I hear you.
Having this conversation kind of makes me more willing to tell them. But in due time.
Yeah. I hear you. Though
I,
there is
I
to
want
say. Oh, sorry, James.
to be
Yeah, go
an
ahead.
active member. No, it's cool. I want to be an active member of this conversation. I've just been so in my head for the last like 30 minutes. So it's
I
just hard to
see
make.
you. I see you fucking over there,
You're
and
pacing hella.
I'm like, that's a good James right there.
Who's a good James? Who's a good James?
Just know that
Oh,
I'm
see,
listening.
I didn't mean it like that. I don't say it like that. I mean,
No, I know. I'm
my.
just fudding.
It's
I'm
funny.
fudding.
Um, I am listening though. I'm listening to everything, and a lot of times you guys talk, and exactly what you're saying in that moment, little moon for you, um, is like resolving like shit that I'm thinking about.
Dude,
So
that's why I
I
know
love it
you're
when that
in this shit.
happens.
I see you. I literally feel you in this shit. So I'm like,
This conversation does that. Our dynamic between the three of us do be doing that for all of us, I think.
fucking therapy up the ass, bro. Because it's like, bro, who needs a fucking
Free.
therapy when like
It's
you're
free.
they give you the answers of life like immediately, like free, like seriously, bro. It's so easy to fucking make decisions in my life when I talk to you guys. You're just like, oh, well, that makes sense, and that's easy. I should be doing it this way. Thanks, boys.
right on, bro.
I'm gonna start my course. I'm gonna put my business on hiatus for a while. Um, and there's a lot of things I need to work into balance. And first and foremost, I need to stop feeling like a shitter. Uh,
Yeah.
and create some mobility for myself. And if I don't start somewhere, if I don't start here, then I probably won't start anywhere. I'll end up starting on like a level lower than what I feel like I deserve.
Yeah, man. I was thinking. I was like, I how to say. I don't want to say it because, like, what the fuck do I know? But I mean, for me personally, just from external perspective, I don't feel like the businesses should be like the first priority necessarily. You know, it's just like a lot of the time we gotta just really not do nothing, really do absolutely nothing, and
No,
that's when you could
yeah.
like look
Uh,
inside.
the biggest thing that was holding me back was that like I want to like show my mom something cool in case she dies.
Yes, I
I
agree.
Uh,
hear that, Obi.
and I realized like a big fear that I have like when it comes to my parents is that like I always promised my parents shit that I never followed through on. And so like sometimes I'll say something and I just like feel that they don't believe me. And I always felt bad. So like, like my biggest fear would be like, starting some other path and then being like, on my mom's deathbed, be like, oh yeah, I'll be fine. I'm gonna do life this way and this is what I plan to do next, and she'll just like not believe me and then die, and then like that would suck. But I also realized that like if what you said something like was really fucking powerful, talking about how the concept of illusion and it weighing down on you like a sack of chains, and setting yourself like putting yourself into a specific category will always be like the most limiting thing, and that like you just need to like fucking like live your life, man, and you need to do it freely. So I won't set myself in those parameters anymore, and or try not to at least. And
Right on, bro. I mean, I feel you in your specific situation. It's hard not to, but it's like, yeah,
it's not the situation's not even important. Like it's just I'm human too, guys. um, and I
You're way more than that.
thanks. Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. Um,
I just mean to say like the situation doesn't matter. You know, like it did, like whether it's like me or you or anyone. Like you know, I just like I shouldn't like put myself on forever. Sorry, I know I'm talking about me all of a sudden, but like, uh,
Mm, mm,
No, talk about you.
yeah,
mm.
yeah.
With the it doesn't matter. I'm not saying that this is a crime that you. I'm not accusing you of this crime right now necessarily, but just always worth to remember the nothing matters when applying the nothing matters. We usually use it for not for for like not worrying too much about things, but it's also very important to be careful to not use that to underplay things that in fact do matter.
That's not what I meant, but yes, I agree.
Just saying. I just like I'm not again. I wasn't like, accusing you of the crime, but like just something I don't know. Just like got a hint of that in my head for some reason, and I think that's always a good thing to remember, especially given the complexity of our internal strife and
Mm.
how we every single day try to do whatever the fuck it is that we're doing.
I thought it was funny in this during this conversation. I like checked my text messages and realized I like missed a text from Kay, and the text was, "Are you still gonna do your real estate course?" I was like, "Okay, great."
That's funny.
Like the one person I like don't want to fucking talk to.
That's funny.
Yeah.
From back in the conversation that was
Relevant.
to be recorded but never got recorded. It's like, yeah, it's a lot of that. It's like, man, nothing ever happens if you try to show someone. Like that's just like an objective like pattern. Also, is
Mm-hmm.
like literally ever, literally ever. You're never ever gonna get the thing where it's like, I showed you. Even though here it's like, you know, you want to show them to like make them feel nice and stuff, right? But it's like you never get the thing where it's like, gotcha. You're only gonna get it once you absolutely don't give a single flying dick bag what they think of you. That's when you get it. And when you get it and they're like, huh, that guy's pretty cool. That guy's pretty cool. And
Yeah.
then it's like,
No, it's only when it's ever for you. It's only when it's ever for you. That's what it's always been. That's why
yeah,
I was finally graduate school. Is because I finally made it about myself. Um.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I was kind of like, you know, uh, poking on with the like, isn't it an unhealthy, how to say, you remember, isn't it an unhealthy like
Mine.
motivation to do that,
Yeah.
you know, because it is just like a dead end motivation. Like in terms of the energy that it comes from is the most important place, right? All the external things are literally just symbols. Everything
Yep.
that happens in the external is just symbol. Like,
So
but the actual, sorry,
no, you go, you go ahead. I was just gonna completely interrupt you anyway.
but yeah, like the external thing that actually happens gets resolved or not for whatever reason. Like external stuff just happens, right, by accident. Looks like, oh, this thing happened, blah blah blah, because it's all just a symbol of like an energy playing out. Like if that energy is not coming from a pure place or like a place of healing, if it's coming from an illusory place of like trying to show someone something, the external never play out, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Just like stressing that point that it's really like external is literally a simulate. It's literally a simulation because it just like simulate, like just fucking melds together into what the energy is and expresses it. You know, and we
Yep.
call that just like, oh, stuff just happens, you know, by accident, and external things just happen unrelated
Nothing is
to you.
by accident.
What?
Nothing is by. Sorry, like I just want to outburst that nothing is by accident.
Yeah, yeah.
I had no actual thing to contribute.
No, it's okay, dude. But like, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like that. So it's like really, and because we always do that. We always just like do stuff blindly. Do stuff blindly. That's what everyone does in this world. Do stuff blindly, and then it's like, well, you look inside, and it's like, why am I really doing this thing? It's like, it's kind of some of that, and it's like not You know, it's like uncertain. Whereas it's like when you're really doing stuff for you, that shit's certain. That shit's like, this is what I know needs to be done for like my healing, and that's just like obvious, and the direction is like really clear, you know. So
Yes, I do know, and I am listening.
yeah, but
So
but yeah, but it's cool. I mean, yeah, cool that you know you're
Yeah,
thinking it over.
uh,
You know,
it's
not
it'll be,
fighting it, but you know, cool. It's just always like
it's
has to be at the forefront because it's
no,
like
it'll be
it'll
nice to,
never work otherwise. Yeah.
it'll be nice to change of pace. Like I'm not quite sure that like the direction that I'm going to take it is like the right thing to do or anything like that. I just know that it's different from what I'm currently doing, which has clearly demonstrated itself to be the wrong thing to do. So the discovery will go on, and that's fine with me.
Yeah,
That's enough.
definitely, definitely.
that's something I've been struggling so hard with recently, especially in the uh, with me being in the aftermath of a very heartbreaking breakup is like I try so because like that impulsive thought of like, oh, I'm gonna do this and that, and then a girl will notice or my family will notice. It's like, bro, every time like those thoughts crawl into my head, I'm like, no, bad Hardy, bad divine God, which is like, and it's not like in a guilty, like it doesn't make me feel bad. It's just like I like at that point, it's literally like the only thing I could conceive of doing is like I literally just like try to grab those thoughts mentally and just like throw them away because you're right. The most important thing is that you're doing it for yourself. Absolutely paramount. That is like the mission.
Mhm.
And so it's you know, I don't want to just like but I also don't want to like fucking just like struggle every second mentally because of that. So it's like striking a balance of like when those thoughts happen, recognize that I am just having an illusory fantasy and then stop having it. But at the same time, just like I guess not stressing too much over it. Because here's the funny thing, right? Is like my brain, like when I'm just not doing anything and I'm having AFK thoughts, sometimes it feels like it can only be an illusory fantasy. And so it's like what I do when I'm having an illusory fantasy, I will literally, bro, I literally, I go like this. Like, hey, retard, look around you. Look at the world around you. Stop living in your head like fucking, what are you doing right this second? Be more involved in what you're doing. Are you making the most of this moment? No, then fucking do something. And I literally go, like, when I start having those thoughts, I literally go, like, with my eyes, and it's just like, because you can't just fucking stop those thoughts from happening. It's just some unresolved shit that will only unfold in time. It's just, yeah, interesting stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just a
It
sad.
it does it does. I'm sorry, James. Not I know you're about to start a thing, but it does kind of like put in this little seed of fear where it's just like I really hope I'm not doing whatever it is that I'm doing for something other than myself. Even though I can rationalize why I'm doing it for myself and I'm confident in it. Like again, that doesn't just make it go away. But yeah.
No, it doesn't. Not at all. That's like rationalization is fucking useless for that purpose. Like the only thing that will ultimately make a change in anything is the recognition of divine purpose. Um, like for other people, I've really started to like stray from this line of thinking recently. But like for other people, you look at them, you're like, well, how are they able to make changes for themselves if they're not using the recognition of divine purpose? And the answer is twofold, as far as I'm concerned. The first one being, well, they make changes that they that are come from a certain place of inspiration that is ultimately a divine purpose that perhaps they don't recognize because they're stupid. And then the other half of it is, well, it's useless to compare what other people are making changes for anyway because they don't exist. And so, for a real divine soul and for a person that exists and have feelings and consciousness and all that, it's only divine purpose that makes changes. And as far as I'm concerned, the only people that exist and are like that are me and you sitting over there on the left and you sitting down there on the bottom. And the only people that exist. So, um, for folks like us, it requires divine purpose to actually make something a different thing. Rationalizations or like desires or things like that are always going to be illusory and temporary. And the only thing that wins at the end of the day is the permanence of the soul. Um, Another thing I want to say, it was a side note, but I thought it was very funny that all of this is happening right now because, you know, great changes come when new cycles begin. And that's exactly the reason I shaved my beard. I don't know why I did it when I did it, but I was like, I wanted to clear out these experiences that I've accumulated within my body. And the best way to do that is by ridding
Your
myself of
beard.
beard. The best.
That's why Michael doesn't shave. He only has dank experiences for the last 7 years.
Literally. Um,
Plus ins.
the way I see it is I grow hair when the experiences I've accumulated are continually getting better, and I eliminate my hair when I want to clear out experiences and make room for better ones. Um, and I just did it today, and I didn't really know why. And so, if you guys ever need a message in divine life, it's just that I cleared this out. I didn't know why, and then we're sitting here today to have this conversation, and I'm making a change in my experience. So, pretty cool stuff. How things align from the outer and the inner. Um, yeah. And thank you, Artie. By the way, it was interesting earlier in the conversation when we were talking about stuff. You were saying things to me, and I was internally getting very defensive. I was like, "Why is this man going to try to tell me how to live my life?" And in that realization, I realized, "Holy shit! I'm so defensive and insecure about the way I live my life." And the reason for that is because I'm so scared to, yes, to let go of those notions about who I am and what I'm supposed to be. I hold on so much to an idea of myself without actually giving myself an opportunity to be myself. And so I'm always trying to mold myself into an idea of myself, which, oh my God, what an illusion. So thank you, Artie, for shattering my illusions when I didn't want them to be shattered.
Pow. Pow, right in the illusion.
Right in the fucking maker.
I'm happy that I did that for you, man. First off, now I want to shave my head even more. Which is funny because right now I'm going in a good direction, but this is a solid couple months, I think.
I would say keep it because that hair is imbued with the experience of a divine ignition in your life. In that hair lies the moment in which you changed from someone who didn't want to be here to someone who's excited to be here. And so, yeah. So carry on with the growth that you have because the cycle's already begun. If you get stagnant again, you're like, oh, I don't really need to go where I don't really know where to go from here. Then yeah, get rid of it, but you know where to go. So hold on to it. That's my. It could be people. That's look at it.
You broke up.
I said it could be different for people. That's just the way I look at it. But personally, also, if you feel like this is going to be the beginning of the most momentous change in your life, then do it now. But don't wait.
I don't know. Yo, Jug, should I cut my hair? This thing's not even listening.
Oh, hey, Artie, I had a question.
I have an answer.
Do any of your friends want to make $300 and do my website?
Do your what?
Website.
I'm gonna send you a phone number. I can't promise you. I actually don't. Actually, this kid hit me up like sometime last year, saying that he wanted me to like hit up businesses.
Why don't you just go on Fiverr, James?
No, I'm gonna do that too. Rob sent me a freelancing website to check that out. But again, I don't really want to get too much into it. It was a question I was gonna ask earlier in this conversation, but now that I realize that it's not a focus I really want to take right now, that perhaps it's best that I leave it alone for now. Anyway.
Yeah, I hear you.
Hold on a second.
So actually,
Hold on a second.
No, I vetoed the question. Don't send me anything.
No, shut up.
No, I'm serious.
This kid literally hit me up.
I'm not gonna text him.
We don't care about this kid.
Why?
Because I changed.
Oh, because you're not doing your website?
Yeah, that was a question from earlier in the conversation, like way earlier, until I realized I changed my mind. And now that I realized I changed my mind, it's pointless to ask the question.
Yeah, screw that kid.
I'm still sending it.
Okay.
If you're really resolved on putting a pause on it, then this phone number will do absolutely nothing to your internal process.
Wow, that's true.
Got his ass. Basically, this kid, I knew him for a good minute. He's a pretty cool kid. He almost snagged me into a pyramid scheme once that he sold the soul to, but he snapped out of it. Anyways, he's like a programmer. Interesting, isn't that right, Michael? He's like some kind of programmer. And while I was doing the whole sales thing, I happened to talk to him, and he told me, he's like, hey, if you ever like encounter like business owners, like send them my way, because like I'm trying to like make websites for people for like a pretty penny, and I will like give you a percentage of whatever you send me. And so like we were like working whatever. I don't know how much money he does things for. He was very much like, if you want something for X amount of money, I'll give you I'll give you X quality, so obviously speak to him yourself, use it to your discretion, no promises. I'm sure that the fact that you already have some website will, I don't know, maybe make it a little bit cheaper. I don't fucking know.
It does.
Huh?
It does.
It does. Cool. If you want, I could be like, hey, this is like a really good friend of mine, although I'm not necessarily close enough with him where he will sell himself short for me. I could, but yeah. Anyways, you got that now. It's in the groupie chat.
Groupie.
We're all groupies for the immortal god.
I hate to say it, but it's past my bedtime. But since your people's time is so valuable, I give it 22 more minutes.
Yeah,
No, it's okay. I'm like cool with.
I wanted to share stuff. I have stuff to share, guys.
Go, Michael, to battle.
I gotta share stuff. No, yeah, man. I mean, for me, of course, we got a bunch of examples. For me, it was like the crypto shit. I was like, just in terms of like just doing stuff blindly and like forgetting why you're doing it or who you're doing. Are you even doing it for you? I'm like, when the fuck did I even start caring about money? Literally, I was homeless 3 years ago, and why am I like dying on the inside every day, like trying to scramble as fast as possible to like be rich? Like, where did this thought even come from? And I'm like, I had to go like fucking halfway insane to like actually snap out of it, But
no, dude, literally, I'm sorry, just to interrupt real quick. I realized like a part of this whole business thing is like, I realize I'm like doing it like partially for Mimi. I'm like, oh my god, bro, like.
Yeah.
For Mimi, bro, at least pipe her if you're gonna do that.
Right. So
yeah.
So no, I mustn't.
Oh, maybe fucking Mimi will help you get over the anxiety of the job.
No.
On some filmy crypt. Nah, probably not. But it would just be a poggers moment. She's literally a big titty Jewish. She's literally Ben Shapiro's sister.
I wasn't done.
But older.
I wasn't done already.
Huh?
I wasn't done.
James interrupted you first, and I was only memeing. So yell at him, not me.
I get it. You were memeing.
You're
I don't get it.
Like Mimi.
No, I get it. They don't.
Fuck you.
Continue, Michael.
Well, yeah, just I realized then that I was also doing it for ideas that are not mine. For my parents mostly. It was like, who is this? Where do I get these money ideas from? You know, that's why they represent our deepest part of ourselves, the implicit part. It's implicit. It's just like implicit. This is normie life. This is how people do things. This is the worldview. These are the common sense rules, and this is how you act, right? And this is who you are. You're just a human trying to just enjoy your life in this like chaotic world, and things happen, right? Implicit worldview, and the implicit worldview is pervasive, and it's like it just leads to blindly doing and not ever really just forgetting, just forgetfulness. And when we're in that forgetfulness, best thing to do is just to trust. I mean, for me, I'd say for me, but it's not really just for me, is just trust, just stop for a second, just stop, please, because why go down some, if you're in an automation, you got to stop first. Just stop. Trust that stopping, not doing anything, just chilling, absolutely chilling to your bones is the best thing you can do in this moment. And then
Damn, bro.
get some
That chilled me to
orientation.
my bones.
What's up?
That chilled me to my bones.
Yeah, dude, you gotta just chill to your bones, and then get some orientation from that. You gotta reorient yourself and be like, where am I implicitly really following? You know, and
Mm-hmm.
what do I really know to be true, and what energies am I really operating from, instead of just going on a treadmill that is like an implicit, just blind consciousness of doing what everyone else is doing or thinks I should be doing, like.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so that was, just recent for me. And a lot of the time, the more painful kind of the situation we find ourselves in, the more we feel we have to reorient ourselves. The
Mm-hmm.
more it's like, the more you're like really like, I don't want that shit, I don't want that shit, I don't want that shit, and it'll come back. It'll be coming back. Of course it will, because it's not just a one and done deal. But then you reorient yourself and anchor yourself in your truth, and you're like, I'm fucking lit. I know what's best. I'm the fucking shit. Because who the fuck else knows this? Nobody. So I better get used to knowing that I'm the fucking best there is. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and for everyone else who has a soul, well, they're just the best too, qualitatively different in each of their own ways. But I'm not gonna be subservient to this fucking monkey consciousness that wants me to be like it, you know? And it's like, yeah, it's a cool feeling. Then you're like, cool. My mom's gonna tell me to shut up now. Yeah, I know, ma. I'm impassioned. Yeah, yeah, kulturna. See, this is the monkey consciousness trying to keep me down.
Fucking dick.
Hey,
It's trying to keep me down, dude.
hey, Michael. When you said verbatim, you got to stop and ask yourself, what am I really doing? What do I actually care about?
Yeah, man.
I did stop and think. I need to practice that in my head more often. And then I looked on my phone, and the time was 12:12, and my battery was on 21%.
Nice, dude. Yeah,
Nice.
Sinks do be talking. Sinks do be talking. There's a lot of rationalizations too. I mean, in that moment where you really stop and ask yourself, but then you're like, uh, well, then how am I gonna make money? Right? I mean, money is kind of like the biggest, or like, then what am I doing? I don't know. It's just like this, like, there's always a good reason for why you should not just stop. Of course, obviously, otherwise everyone would just like stop and kind of be like, what the fuck am I doing? But why don't they? Because there's always a good reason to keep going. It's like, well, then what am I doing? Then I'm just lazy. Then I'm just like not making money. Then I'm like, whatever. we always give ourselves a good reason to keep blindly doing something that we really know is not going to lead to anything good, right?
Yep.
So, and that's just the fear. That's just the fear. Like, hey, Matrix world, you better not stop. You better not get off the treadmill. You like the treadmill. Better not stop. But it's in that moment, which that is, as funny as it sounds, a brave decision to stop.
Yep.
And knowing that that is the best thing to do is to stop and to reorient yourself. Because what's the other
Yeah.
option? Is to just fucking jump into whatever the fuck you don't even know what it is, you know?
No, this conversation was really good because, like, who knows how long this might have continued. I might have, like, if even if like I secured my resolve, I might have just resolved myself and like actually just focused on this business more, which I still want to do. But like, at the time when like I shouldn't be doing it, and then just like waste even more time and more energy. Like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah. And I think obviously, it's like, it's never even about the external thing. I think it's totally a chill thing to do, right? And it could just be like super chill, but it gotta be chill, you know? It gotta be chill. And also, it doesn't necessarily have to be. Well, I know you put a lot of work into it already, but hey, so did I with crypto, right? I fucking studied that shit for like 2 years. Watched like hours of videos every day, and then actually like
exactly.
went ham for like 4 months, literally 12 hours a day trying to learn the trading system and fucking destroying myself.
Mhm.
So I mean, it is kind of like what's the word? Like not regret. It's like like you already sunk so much into it, right? Resources. But
Remorse,
like, is that a good reason to stop?
not remorse.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
No, it's not like I'm gonna stop doing it. It's more like I already don't have like the energy to do it, so it's like I'm really only gonna work on it like when I have the energy to do it.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, so I'm
yeah.
not gonna like
Exactly.
force that energy. Like I have the energy to do other shit, which I'm not doing because I'm trying to find the energy to do this. So it's like, it's pointless.
Yeah,
Like if I can like if I have a job, for example, and I have the energy to do that, then I'll still be working on it. Hell yeah, why not? But like, yeah, I'm not gonna like fucking like force myself into it. Like I'm not gonna get anywhere doing that.
yeah.
I'm
Right.
certainly not gonna enjoy what I'm doing if I'm doing it that way anyway.
Yeah. And it doesn't even have to be like later, if you reorient yourself and then maybe you'd be like, I actually don't want to do that at all. And like
Yeah.
and the universe maybe presents you some better option. And you're like, I
Yep.
actually don't want to do that at all. And be totally fine with that too. Be like, hallelujah. I do stuff I want to do, right? That's the whole point. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
yeah, when we put ourselves in a box like that, it's such an uncomfortable place. Because then it's just like, oh, fear, fear, you better not stop, but also you better do the shit you don't want to do, you better, or else you're a fucking shitter. And it's like, wow, what a fucking hell life. Oh my god. Whereas when you stop and then you work on yourself honestly, just seeing, and it's just like observing every day. When you really stop, it's just, it's just introspective, and you're just looking at yourself, and you're just looking at how you feel, what you actually care about, and who the fuck you are, and who the fuck you want to be, what kind of energies you value in yourself. And it's like, there's a couple of days of that, couple of weeks of that, fuck it, couple of months of that. And at that point, the universe just starts opening its fucking shit. But not immediately. Immediately, it's like, yeah, I don't know what the fuck. But that's okay, because that's the brave decision. That's the kick logic out and do the impossible, or don't do anything at all, is the other side of that allegory. Well, Artie doesn't get that reference because he doesn't watch Grimlock. But
Don't make fun of me, please. I'm scared, mommy.
well,
Yay! Now I actually have to do something about it. Great.
No, I get. You know, it's it was Beckerman that taught me this. I never implemented it, but a while ago, this was actually like
I know what you're
the
gonna say.
couple, huh?
Nothing. Go on.
The couple of weeks before my 21st birthday, when I came back and when I was in Florida and then I came back and we had the party at Anna's house, I I was talking to Beckerman. I was just on a phone call with him while I was in Florida, and he told me he's like there's no such thing as you have to.
I knew that's what you were gonna say.
And
That's
he
what I
said
said earlier. When you said
you don't
what,
have
like I
to.
know what you're gonna say, and
He
then
said you get to.
yeah,
And
yeah.
he told me to practice that. I'm like, yummy. Never did, but I see it now.
No, I'm totally memeing. I recognize everything as an opportunity for growth, so that's
Of
cool.
course. Of course.
Naturally. Does they say that in Steam Hams? They naturally. Or is that somewhere else?
No, it's not Steam House.
That's not Steam Ham. Yeah, he's just like, of course. Yeah,
Of course.
yeah. Yeah, guys, good. I recorded all of this, by the way. Secretly.
Which part?
All of it.
Divine
The
purpose
last,
at this time of year, in this part of the country, at this time of the day, localized entirely within your consciousness.
That's
Within
fucking
our
lit.
group chat.
That's a good meme, dude. I dig
Uh,
it.
since when? Since when has
Localized.
this been recorded?
Like last hour and a half. All the
Let's check.
parent stuff. Um, the my first rant. Basically, when I started ranting.
So before I went on a spiel about what
We got some of your spiels in there. Not
egg dairy salent.
no, it was after that.
Dairy salent.
So, any of the stuff where I was talking about my day-to-day activities,
Mm-mm.
that's it. Oh, damn, that's the stuff I want to say. That was the stuff where I learned something.
Or you're outside.
I was like 30 minutes.
I'll go.
Yo,
30 minutes.
what if we keep recording our conversations for like the next 40 years, and then one day we just release them all to the public, and then mad niggas get stupid woke,
Facts.
and we just become like fucking. We just open up our own like Sadhguru level cult, and then everyone's gonna be like, yo, these fucking programming motherfuckers are convincing my kids to go bald and be vegan and sun gaze. They're destroying my children.
Oh, my aunt is here, and I was sun gazing with her. Oh, I was with her looking at the sunset while I was sun gazing, and I was telling her that she should be sun gazing, and she was like, "You're crazy. You should be doing that." And I was like, "Yeah, all right, lady. Don't you know? Don't you know that they don't want you to know these things? Don't you know that they're gonna hide this from all this stuff? You know, just going off on her for no reason. I haven't seen her in like years.
That's funny.
It's your mom's sister, your dad's sister.
My mom's sister.
Mm.
Yeah, fuck around with them.
Mhm.
Monkeys. It's been my new favorite word recently. Monkeys. Because it's just so accurate. It's just so accurate, dude. It's literally just monkeys. Literally just monkeys pretending to not be monkeys with like all their intellectual like words and
You know what's the funny thing? You know what's the funny thing about sun gazing? Is like, well, the whole like one of the main reasons screens are bad for you. Like I think, as far as I'm concerned, as far as I know, the main reason that screens are bad for you is because like they're up in your face and like your eyes like fucking change shape to reconfigure to like something that's directly in front of you, which is like not how we would ideally be in nature, right? But it's funny because it is technically true that the sun at a certain point is safe to look at, technically, even by Jewish standards. And then the sun is literally, there isn't anything that is farther away than the sun. And so it's like if you really look at the sun, it's like, nigga, I'm fixing my vision. Get on out of here. Go on, mosey on out of town.
The biggest risk that I've assumed from screens is the amount of blue light that is being filtered into your eyeballs, which are the most permeable membrane. So you're actually just absorbing electromagnetic radiation through your eyeballs.
I was not in course with this. I knew that the blue light is bad because it fucks up your circadian rhythm, but I didn't know about all that.
I mean, it does that too, but as a byproduct of the electromagnetic radiation.
Dang, it's straight. Well, I'm gonna have to buy the gamer glasses that have blue light filters.
From my experience, as far as I can garner, I've been staring at the goddamn screen for 16 hours a day for the last 4 months, and my eyesight is the best it's ever been. But it only gets better when I actually go outside and focus on something. It actually only is a noticeable difference when I go outside. If I'm inside, it actually is not that noticeable. Um, and I think the biggest thing is just the amount of screen time is that your eyes do atrophy, just like your muscles. If you just leave them in that position for a long time, then they're just like, don't look far away anymore. But that's all I gotta say about it. I don't know about blue light. Oh yeah, and it makes my eyes like really dry. I know that for sure. But blue
Did you
light
know?
is like bad.
Dryness matters to you.
Blue light is
Just
bad.
blink, idiot. Just do blinking meditation.
I do blink sometimes.
Did you know that people who get brain tumors always get them on the side of their head for which they hold their cell phone?
Oh, that's interesting.
My
It definitely
granddad,
probably adds something,
ever
I
since
imagine.
ever since I got a cell phone when I was like 9, my granddad told me, "Hey, when you call people on the phone, try to hold it a little bit away from your head. Otherwise, it will make you sick."
Mhm.
And my granddad was like super like not religious science engineer, man.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I've seen like there's photos on the internet of like MRI scans or like I don't know some imaging, electromagnetic imaging, right, of people that like just talked on the phone for like 30 minutes and their shit is all like red here on the inside. I don't know exactly what it means, but I just remember I'd seen that picture. And, yeah, I believe it, but
You guys want to see what a tumor looks like?
No.
yeah, why not?
Shit is great. Like I always thought it would just look like a mass, like a clump of black, right?
Shit is crazy.
It's pretty crazy. Here, I'll show
It's
you.
not like pinkish.
Yeah, it is. There's one.
Where is that?
And there's another one.
What body part is that?
That's a neck.
Oh lord.
Damn. How big?
That's a singular tumor.
That's a tumor.
You gotta cut that up and fry it, dude. That literally looks like stuff people would eat, like as a delicacy. I swear to God.
Bro, literally.
Like it looks like some meat mushrooms.
Oh my god.
Dude, Artie, I know you're salivating at that instantly. It
Oh,
already has the cheese grown on it. You don't even have to add it. You just
oh
like scrape it off with like one of those shawarma fucking knives. You know what I mean?
no.
Just stick it on the grill.
Oh
Bunch of oil in the pot. Like, a
no.
bunch of
Lord forgive me.
weird.
Things I don't understand.
Sometimes I need to be alone.
Oh my god, what the fuck?
Just put it in the pan. A bunch of weird colored water comes out,
But
but you just like
yeah, it's
ladle
this
it back
last one
on.
looks like fucking cauliflower.
Dude,
But right.
it's pretty lit.
My nigga.
Dude, I'd eat that. It looks pretty
How do you
tasty.
let it get that? Bro, I would just fucking cut off my arm at that point.
That's a neck.
Then you bleed to death.
No, you cauterize it, and then you wait like 40 years for robot hands to be
You
a
see,
thing.
the thing is, it's Jew science to assume that tumors spread throughout your body. Cancer doesn't spread throughout your body, actually. Um, it already exists in your body because of an imbalance. Cells don't get up and leave and go somewhere else and implant themselves. It's not how cells work.
We probably all have some cancer.
Well, yeah, but what I mean to say is the tumor is created by your body to package shit that already exists within your body. So if
Mm.
you cut off your arm, you're just going to get a tumor somewhere else.
Yeah, right. It's just like
I've been like so
diseased cells
desensitized to
everywhere.
cancer. It doesn't even sound that bad anymore. I mean,
Right?
like obviously it's horrible. Don't
Until
get me
you
wrong.
see that shit. Me too, bro. Then I saw that show. I was like, holy fucking fuck balls, bro. That's that shit. My mom had a that like the size of a grapefruit inside of her body when she first got it fucking removed.
Pretty boggity.
Imagine having that on your ball sack, bro. I'm about to stop smoking right now.
The food is way worse than the smoking.
To
The
think
smoking definitely doesn't help though.
to think that's what the stuff in your food becomes. That's literally what food actually is.
And then you could have more food because you could scrape it off and cook it.
That's literally what goy slop looks like when you
Goes
chew it up.
Dude, that's what the chicken nuggets are made out of, already.
Literally.
Wait, James, hold on. This reminds me. You said fish are more cancer causing than fucking like pork and shit.
They're more progenitive for cancer cells. So not necessarily cancer causing, but
Imagine
They
because they
feed
have all.
cancer.
yeah, much better than
How?
IGF-1.
The fuck is that,
It's a growth hormone that cancer cells have receptors for.
bro? Chill with that.
What? It's fine, dude. Relax. It doesn't matter. It's just like a specific thing for cancer. Fish is more
No,
healthy
I just got.
than meat for sure. Because meat is
Huh?
fish is healthier than meat for sure. Because meat is closer to your genetics. Like the closer you eat to your genetics, the more fucked up it is.
It's
Basically.
true, and they say the biggest, or at least in my opinion, the worst thing about meat is the saturated fat that it has, and fish is polyunsaturated fat. So,
Yeah, fish is like
Mm.
so obviously 10
so
bajillion times
it's
better
just
than
like
meat.
less acidic, yeah. And
But
the
you would say it's still bad, right?
Oh yeah.
of course.
Also, you could eat it raw. So that's a thing. Alright? If you eat sushi. I don't know if you want to.
I could dog mad sushi.
I could dog that sushi. Um no, and then the other thing with the fish is that it's just like a lot of them have what's it called? Like hella like heavy metals and shit in them, basically.
Oh yeah. Wait, oh dude, that's a big thing. Actually, fish is the worst thing in the world now. It used to not be. In its native state, it's not. But nowadays, fish is the worst thing in the world
Why do they have
because
heavy metals in them? Could you remind me?
of shit in the water.
Just like generally just shit in the water. It's not like because they like make them how to say they like have like breeding colonies and stuff, right? It's not like they just go out there and or do they just like go out there and catch them?
No, they have farms, but actually there's no real such thing as like an ethical fish farm.
Yeah,
Like there are like ethical like cow farms and shit like that where they
What about
slaughter.
wild caught fish?
Doesn't matter. There's shit in the water.
Like if they catch them in the middle of the ocean.
Shit in the water.
Nah, my nigga. Like,
no,
but
because
in the
Radiation.
middle
probably
of
the
the ocean.
places that we're catching them, they're not going into like the middle of the Pacific
Actually,
Ocean.
no, that's a good point. I'm sure if you go out into the middle of the ocean and catch a fish and put it on your table, you're
Yeah,
probably fine. At that point, you might as well go into the woods and shoot a deer and eat that.
Right, that's what I'm
probably
saying.
the places that they are catching them are where 10 bajillion Chinese commercial boats like move in and out of every day and like dump
Mhm.
shit and like I don't know whatever waste
Mhm.
from their ship or something or
Yeah,
maybe
no,
other
I
commercial
completely
wastes.
forgot about all this. But Chen was giving me this whole spiel about fish and why he's no longer ever going to eat fish.
Yeah, yeah,
And it's for this reason. Like these days, like in the last 10 years, like fish has just become like a hellhole of food.
yeah. I can see that. I can see that. I don't know how much of that kind of like I didn't know the specifics of it, but it does make sense just because it's like they would just all go to the same spot to fish and just
Radiation, heavy metals, microplastics are most present.
Stop, please stop. I can't. Now I don't. Now I'm just gonna eat pork instead.
And seed oils.
and seed oils in the fish.
I'm joking.
Ha! Good meme. You got
Bro,
me.
stop, bro. I'm gonna kill myself. It's
Yeah,
over.
are you
Guys, I'm
calm?
depressed again. I want to kill myself. I'm gonna intentionally grow a tumor and then cut it off and bleed to death. Easy clap.
You better let us eat it first.
I'm actually gonna delete those photos. I can't look at them anymore.
I don't know. I'm normally the averse one to like the one averse to grotesque things, but this is totally fine with me.
It just looks like a full course meal.
It's even delicious. It's like little sausages growing out of his neck.
Bro,
Oh my fucking
stop.
god, Michael.
Like, like the little sausage rolls that, we talked about them.
It's the
Bro,
third
no,
one. It's the
stop
third one
it.
that looks most
Oh
grotesque.
my god.
The third one is disgusting because just the way it's like bulging out of the skin, like oh my Christ.
What, like the one?
Yeah, the third one is definitely the worst.
Because it's a subdermal thing that bursts through the skin, and that's just a massive gaping wound hole. It's not even healed skin. Like the other ones are like growing outside the skin.
That's like when your girlfriend wants to pop your pimples. That's the final punch.
Yo, literally.
She has to literally fucking slice that shit out with like a fucking kitchen knife.
I like it. Wait, James, I gotta be real with you though. I gotta really, really be real with you. How many browsers do you use in a day?
Yeah, you animal. What the fuck?
What?
Using like every browser on the planet every day?
No,
Well, I use like 4.
I use Chrome.
But you got a million
Fuck.
browsers there
What do you mean?
on the bottom of your screen.
What is that? Chrome, Brave, Explorer, or Microsoft Edge, and then the one on the leftmost. I don't know.
That's 365 Microsoft. AKA Microsoft.
Wait, so are you saying so fish is fish worse or not? I'm confused.
In that way, it's in some ways worse and in some ways better.
No, that's not good enough, bro. Are you telling me? Wait, but like animals have all that gay shit in them too, right? They like live on top of the radiation.
Yeah, but it's not like saturated into their body in the same way that a fish in water is.
Bro,
The
all right. So you're telling me,
animals have, like,
bro? I don't know. Now I'm fucked. I don't know.
the animals
Now
have,
I'm scared.
like, antibiotics and stuff. Well, here's a thought.
Yeah.
You could just not eat flesh. Wow, what a crazy thing.
I know.
You could
First of all,
just
I knew you
not
were gonna
eat
say that, you
flesh
piece of
into
shit. But
into
second
your
of all,
greedy maw for your
was-
big muscles.
I was reading a story of a farmer
I mean-
who was getting ready to inject a cow with cow antibiotics, and then the cow like rammed him, and he injected himself with the cow antibiotics, and some horrifying things happened to his body.
Very good.
look,
God bless America.
Like at first he went dizzy and passed out, and then he woke up and all his organs were like freaking out and like failing and stuff.
damn, bro. So, is it good or bad if I only eat fish instead of meat and stuff?
I don't know.
Do you like microplastics? I guess it all
You're a
depends on
dickhead.
like,
I'm not asking. I'm done. I'm done talking to you.
I actually
I
don't
Did you
know.
know?
I don't know.
Did you know that the average person consumes a credit card worth of microplastics a month, or I think it was a week actually?
Like a weight of a credit card?
Yeah.
That makes sense. There's all that processed shit that they eat. And also they use the microwave.
And also the way everything is packaged. Yeah, and they use the microwave. Ew.
Bro, James, you totally fucked my whole shit up. I was like excited. I'm like, cool. I could like slowly change my diet, bro. And now it's like not happening.
Surprise, surprise, bro. Every food is fucked. Even the fucking fruits and vegetables are fucked.
Indeed they are.
Unless you get them organic.
And
even
then
then
they're still kind of fucked.
kind of.
No, bro, like James, just stop everything that you're doing.
You know, I had
I'm
a
trying to, honestly.
in California, there was like a highway, and right, you know, there's just like a patch of lawn on the highway, like side of the highway, right? And like completely nobody owns it or anything. You know what I mean? It's just like you got a highway and you got like some grass on the side of it, right? Um, and there was like a bunch of trees on there too. And then kind of like a little bit into the trees, like you almost can't see it, but there was a peach tree. And I literally walked by this shit for like months, like every day practically, and never saw it. And then I ate it from it, and there's just like a bunch of rotten peaches on the floor, and there's like a few in the tree that are, you know, pretty good looking, you know, pretty ripe. And I ate that, and it was literally the best, delicious, most sweetest, juiciest peach I ever had in my life by far. Literally no close second. Straight up. Off of the side of the fucking highway, literally just a tree that is just alone and nobody gives a fuck about it or knows that it's there. And I'm just like, God damn, that's how it's supposed to be. And it just reminded me that, yes, it's all fucked. It's all just like, this is just like some peaches are just like some fucking like bland mash, like nonsense. This shit was like literally like god tier fruit, and it's literally just growing on like some stupid lawn on the side of the highway. Nobody's tending to it. Nothing. You know what I mean? But yeah,
Beautiful.
everything is fucked, Artie. Especially the animals, because what the hell do you expect from a fucking satanic system that wants to make you a monster and has made you a monster for being
Bro,
real?
like I don't know. I'm just like fucked in the I like and so I like
That's why Michael has to do things like not eat food for 120 days for like half a year. Because even though he's fucking vegan and sometimes raw vegan, he's still so full of those
Mm-hmm.
cancerous blobs that are placed on his screen. On their screen.
Oh, sorry, mom was talking to me. Because even though what?
Even though Michael is vegan for a long time and a lot of the time raw vegan, he's still chock full of those cancerous blobs that have been adorning our screens.
No, you gotta get those blobs out of there. That's for sure.
so what am I supposed to do, man? Like
Go vegan.
no, I can't.
You
I
just
And
mean I
then
can't
you
and then
just
do a
give up.
juice cleanse.
Just
And then go vegan again and then do another juice cleanse.
I'm like I have like this all this stuff to do now and I'm
No, I know. Just start and make it easy. Start with the fish thing. It's better than what you're eating now.
yeah, dude. Just cut out the bullshit.
yeah, you just said it probably isn't.
No, it most certainly is because it's a whole food. It's not processed garbage.
I still think
Just
probably
sort.
fish is like in general, like yeah, it's toxic shit, but you know, but I don't know. I don't know. I still think it's better than meat. Just yeah, I don't know. But I don't know. I don't know how toxic it is. You could just eat eggs. Just
No,
eggs.
you can't. That's dairy.
Yeah, but memes. Good memes. Eggs are like
Yeah, I was
more
thinking X makes sense too because it's like just a fucking embryo, man. Like, what are you gonna do to an embryo? It's covered in a shell.
Why don't you just go stop by Sebastian's farm and pick up like a carton of eggs like once a week?
Because he will never answer the phone, even if I masquerade as his
If you hit him up
Ecuadorian
on no, he
girlfriend.
answers. If you message him on Instagram, he answers.
Instagram triggers me because the first thing I see is Hazel's story.
You block her. What the fuck?
No, but that's fear based.
You can unblock her later. Easy.
It's okay. I'll get the cage free eggs
cage
Think on it.
free.
for 12.
We don't want you to reverse course. And if I say any more,
They just eat the fish,
No.
dude. Eat the fish is better than eating the shit. I mean, honestly, just cut out the shit. You know, just cut out the ketchups and the all that natural
remember
flavors and the you know preservatives. And,
remember the conversation we had about the essence of healing.
Of?
The essence of healing.
I forgot. Did we post it in the
Yes.
secret playlist on YouTube?
Yes, it is in there.
Professor, I don't remember. Can you tell me what page it was?
Yeah, it was on page fucking
James, you
9.
literally look like a porn professor.
Today I'm gonna teach you how to eat pussy.
No, coochie. Let's go, coochie reveal.
All right, fine.
Coochie reveal.
This is how you do it, just like this.
No, I posted the
That's
coochie reveal.
horrifying. What the fuck?
You posted coochie reveal?